What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to replace the downpipe in your B58 powered F chassis car. In my case, I'm switching from the OEM downpipe to VRSF high flow catted downpipe. The job itself isn't that complicated to do, shouldn't take more than a few hours, and you can end up saving yourself a few $100s versus taking it to a shop. I ended up using a lift just because I happened to have access to one that day, but you definitely don't need a lift. You can just use your basic jack stand setup to lift the car up. As far as what tools you need, it's mostly going to be like basic sockets and wrenches to get all the nuts and bolts off. I did forget to write down the exact sizes I use, so I will link a Beamer Post article in the description that shows you everything you need to get the job done. I did also use an O2 removal socket, but you can use a 22mm wrench instead if you don't feel like buying one of those, although they are cheap. And then I ended up getting a pipe expander because people are saying that you're going to need a pipe expander to get the downpipe back into the mid pipe. I never actually ended up having to use it. The downpipe just slid right in, but that might not be the case for you. So if you want to be safe, just go get a pipe expander. They're pretty cheap. And the last thing I recommend getting is a replacement gasket for the turbo and downpipe where they meet, and possibly also a new V-band clamp if yours isn't in good condition. I will link both of those parts in the description. You can start by removing the negative terminal on your battery and setting it to the side. After that, you unplug the MAF sensor by pushing the clip down and just pulling it out. Then disconnect the airbox from the intake pipe and start removing the airbox. You will have to pull pretty hard to get it out, and make sure you cover up the intake pipe so you don't accidentally drop something inside. From here, you need to disconnect the two O2 sensor clips. This part was kind of annoying. I'll link a Beamer Post article where someone uses a pick tool to disconnect them. Check that out if you end up having a lot of trouble with this. After that, use an O2 sensor socket or a 22mm wrench to remove both O2 sensors from the downpipe. You can also wait until the downpipe is out to remove the O2s if that's easier for you. Next, you can remove the bolt connected to the V-band clamp. It's right below where the turbo and downpipe meet. Then remove these two nuts connecting the bracket. After that, you can remove this bolt to loosen the clamp connecting the downpipe to the midpipe. The clamp is welded on, so you won't be removing it completely. After that, you remove this nut, which helps support the midpipe, because you will want to drop the midpipe slightly to swap out the downpipes. Now, assuming you fully disconnected the V-band clamp, you should be able to wiggle and pull the downpipe out. Here's the OEM downpipe next to the VRSF high flow catted downpipe. I believe I'm switching from a 400 cell to a 200 cell. I went with this setup to avoid dealing with the smelly exhaust that I might have had from catless downpipe. The next step is to insert your new turbo downpipe gasket. A link to this part is in the description. After that, you can start reinstalling everything you just removed. Once the new downpipe is back in place, bolt the V-band back on. And then the two nuts connecting the bracket. Next, you can slide the mid-pipe back over the downpipe. And I guess some people needed a pipe expander for this part, but I didn't need one. Now reconnect the nut holding the mid-pipe and tighten the mid-pipe clamp. From here, you can reinstall the O2 sensors and then plug them back in. Then reinsert your airbox and tighten the intake pipe. Plug your MAF sensor back in, and of course reconnect the negative battery terminal. And now you're ready to turn the car on. If you're wondering, will I get a check engine light after installing an aftermarket downpipe? Unfortunately, the answer is yes. It probably won't happen right away, but you will get one eventually. The way I dealt with this is, since I'm tuned with boot mode, I just went into the map config settings on boot mode and set the catalytic monitoring to off. If you're not tuned, you can use an O2 sensor spacer. But that's it, guys. I hope this video was helpful. Please give me a like and let me know if you have any questions. And check out the Instagram, nw.auto. If you did a aftermarket downpipe on your car and you have some cool sound clips, definitely tag me in them. I want to hear it. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.